You might have seen lighthouses in movies and TV shows featuring a single beam of rotating light. In reality, that's not how most lighthouses work. In fact, there's a hidden code inside the lighthouse beam that's distinct for every lighthouse. So what is a lighthouse? Essentially, lighthouses and light stations are used for maritime navigation, especially at night. What they do is they let ships know how to sail safely and avoid dangerous areas of coastline. That's incredibly important in a place like this, where there have been numerous shipwrecks out here throughout history. Lighthouses have a long history going back to ancient Greece, and the forerunner to this version was a series of lights and fires being held on hilltops. There are references to these that go back to 800 BCE in Homer's The Odyssey and the Iliad. Now, the light source itself has changed a lot in this time. It's gone from being powered by wood to oil to gas and to the current version, which is electricity. One of the biggest innovations wasn't actually in the form of a light, but in the form of a new lens. This is a Fresnel lens, and this is the innovation that changed lighthouses forever. The Fresnel lens was an invention by Augustin Jean Fresnel, and the way it works is it uses prisms to redirect and intensify the light in a singular direction, capturing all of the light intensity and sending it where we need it, which is out to sea. What this does is it shares these lighthouses' hidden code deep into the ocean. And it's not just lighthouses, there are other markers and codes that mariners need to understand as they sail the ocean. Red and green lights or marks indicate port and starboard and often show where safe channels are. There are cardinal markers which show where safe water is. There's north, 2 arrows pointing up with a quick flashing light. East, you can remember because the arrows look like an egg for E, and this is 3 quick flashes. South has the arrows pointing down with 6 quick flashes and a long flash. And finally west, which kind of looks like a wine glass with 9 flashes. There's a range of other markers you need to know when you get your boat license: safe watermarks, special marks, and emergency wrecks. Lighthouses are of course another type of safety feature, but unlike other markers, they actually have a different code for each lighthouse. So here at Cape Lip Trap, this is the code that we're looking at, and it is FLW 12S 305.1 15nm. So what does this mean? Well, the first character is what the light's actually doing. So F could mean that the light's on the whole time because it's fixed. FL is flashing. Other patterns the light may do is occulting, where it's default on with flashes of off. It also could be an isophase with equal time of on and off, and even Morse code. So this letter will often be supplemented, maybe by a number. So FL3 would mean that it flashes 3 times in a cycle, or Morse code with a letter is that's the code that it will be flashing. Now the next character is the color of the light. W means white, which is the default, but there may be R for red or G for green, which can also help with navigation. Now the next part of the code is how long it takes for each cycle. So 12S indicates that it takes 12 seconds to do that cycle. And the final 2 numbers have got to do with the height, the altitude of the light at a high tide, and finally the range, the distance that the light can be seen into the ocean. So all this code comes together to mean this. This light behind me is a flashing white light at a 12-second cycle. It's around 300 feet above sea level, and it can be seen for 15 nautical miles. If there's one lighthouse you're familiar with in Australia, it's probably this one from Round the Twist. And it, like all functioning lighthouses in Australia, has its own lighthouse characteristic. In this case, FL4W20S, which means it's got a pattern of flashing 4 times with a white light every 20 seconds. So you might wonder, what's the point of these lighthouse codes? Well, it turns out it's important to know not just there's a lighthouse there, but exactly what one it is. So what happens is there are books and charts which show these codes so you can easily identify the difference between what you can see and where you are. Lighthouses have improved a lot in the past century, and so has maritime navigation technology with the introduction of things like GPS, which absolutely helps as you're sailing past the Australian coastline. But lighthouses and light stations like this one continue to play an important role when it comes to safety, beaming their hidden codes off the coast of Australia. This is Cape Lip Trap Lighthouse. I'm Julian O'Shea, and this is Unknown Australia.